The HomeTech podcast is supported by you. To find out more, go to HomeTech.fm/support.
This is the HomeTech podcast for Friday, April 10th from Denver, Colorado. I'm Jason Griffin.
And from isolated Sarasota, Florida, I'm Seth Johnson. I'm safe and quarantined in my house.
Yeah, from your background there on our Zoom call, it looks like you're quite quarantined.
Oh yeah. So if you have Zoom, if you do Zoom, and I suspect a lot of people are now, there's this fun feature of it called virtual backgrounds. If you don't know about it, go check it out. You can't do it on the apps like the iOS app, or I don't think you can do it in the Android app either, but you can do it from the desktop, and that's what matters. And you can go in there and you can turn on virtual backgrounds. And I have the what is this? The hologram room, like the default hologram room from Star Trek. Where they have it's just like the yellow lines or whatever set up behind me, and
you're one-upping yourself every week. You're coming with a new one. I like it.
yeah. Last week it was like a hoarder's house, so it was just like trashed. And I have a really fun one that's all like a warehouse of toilet paper and cleaning supplies.
I saw
that I use in some meetings. There we go.
Yeah, funny enough, last week I think you had like this horrible 70s decor.
Oh yeah, that one.
There it is.
There we go. With fair up on the wall. Yeah.
And our guest Chris Williams, who I work with, is like, very aesthetically tuned in, always well dressed. And I waited just a few minutes to let him think it was real before I told him.
His eyes started twitching a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, right. Hey, speaking of Zoom, Seth, I got a hot tip.
Oh, yeah?
Yep. Got a whole list of hotkeys here. This is like life-changing for me.
Is there a hotkey for changing your virtual background?
Yeah, there's a whole bunch of them. God. I had no idea. I don't know why it never occurred to me.
Oh, wow.
Because I'm like addicted to hotkeys, as you know. But I never even thought to look, and Zoom has a whole bunch of them. So we'll include a link in the show notes. This is very exciting for me.
Open invite window, show hide in meeting chat panel. I mean, a lot of these, if you were running a like a webinar or like a bigger Zoom event, they could be very very handy to have. Control P and N. I don't know why they're so far away from each other, but like Control P is the previous 25. Oh, and N is the next 25 participants in the gallery view. So you can switch the views. I think this could be really handy if you need to be a power Zoom user. This could be pretty handy.
Well, I do. I got to tell you, I've been actually, I think today, and I know this because I got a bunch of the LinkedIn like thumbs up. Today, I think was my 3-year anniversary at One Vision, which is kind of crazy. Time flies. But as you know, Seth, and listeners to the show know, I work from home full time since I started there. So I've literally been on thousands of video calls over the last 3 years. But just over the last few weeks, certainly more than usual, largely because I've been just doing more workshops and presentations, which it's fun, double-edged sword. It's certainly a lot of work. Did the AV Nation Learn From Home event this morning. Today's Wednesday. This will air on Friday. Felt like that went pretty well. I think they had a pretty good turnout. At least I know they had a good turnout in terms of manufacturer attendance. There was quite a few workshops and presentations there. I don't know what their total attendance was in terms of learners, but it was a pretty cool event. I was happy to see them put that together.
Yeah, I spaced on it. I forgot to go register, so I went to go sign up for it, and it said it was full or something. I don't know. I couldn't figure out how to join, so I gave up. went and did some work because I still have work to do. So
full, huh?
I don't know how you do an event and it's full, but maybe I just didn't see the right thing to click. I don't know. It said sold out, and I'm like,
yeah,
I guess.
Huh?
Weird, huh?
Interesting.
Yeah. I think these virtual events are going to be pretty popular in the future, so to keep an eye out for them.
Yeah, it does sort of make you wonder the way things are going lately, like how this is all going to sort of impact just the event landscape in general. I think Cedia sent out an email.
Yep.
I feel like I heard people talking about that today. I haven't seen it myself, but like they're still planning on doing it. That's only 5 months away. The way things are going, I don't know.
Yeah, and
I don't know if I'll be
there.
there.
Convention center is basically turning into like a hospital ward for the time being, and it's like, I don't know. I don't know how they are. I mean, September's a ways out, but I don't know how they're going to like if you're a company, like right now is if you're a big company, so like Control 4 or Crestron or Savant, like right now is when you should be gearing up to like build new product and figure out your marketing message. And if none of your employees are really coming to work because they're not really essential, like they're not
we're all essential, Seth. What are you talking about?
I have that background too. Essential employee background. Big banner. A step and repeat.
Nice.
Step and repeat banner. Yeah, I just don't know how you recover from losing valuable time. I mean, I can't tell you how valuable this time is between now and the show.
Well, and there's that, and I thought you were going to go a different direction. But what you said is entirely true. There's also the uncertainty of, nobody knows what the timeline is going to be, and it's not an insignificant amount of work to plan for a CEDIA event, especially if you're a large manufacturer with a lot of products to show,
millions of dollars,
and all the money and everything. And so, what does that create in terms of if you're a company looking at CEDIA right now and saying, man, like if we're going to do this, we got to pull the trigger now and start planning now, like you said. So it's not even, what I'm saying is it's not even just the fact that people are at home and not in the office. It's literally the uncertainty of knowing if the event is even really, truly going to happen. Do you still drive with the same urgency in terms of planning? Or do you plan at all?
Or do you significantly scale back and reduce your booth size and staff size just in case, so you're not so committed? And then like what happens to a show like CEDIA, which is does rely on being a pretty big show. 20,000-30,000 people show up to that. It's not. I mean, That's a decent sized show. I mean, what happens to not only those manufacturers, but then you have all the hotels in the area that have to open up and be staffed. I mean, it's what a strange time.
Questions.
Yeah, lots of questions.
Yeah.
Not just like, is the one little trade show that we have going to happen? So
yeah, absolutely. Speaking of questions, we had a potential guest lined up this week, and I won't name names. Everyone's struggling with this stuff, so it wouldn't matter anyways. But they're an early stage company that's been impacted by COVID, and their launch date is being pushed back, and so we've pushed back the interview. So everybody's dealing with this across the board, as we know, and we're going to have a news-only show this week because of that. But yeah, it's really hard to say. I know we at One Vision need to start having some serious conversations about CEDIA. We're in a fortunate position where, being the nature of our business, we don't have nearly the level of technical planning and implementation required to make it a good go at CEDIA.
You guys have to get a sofa in that room.
We got to get some.
Yeah, the furniture has to show up, and that's about it, right? The sofa and the chairs, and you're done.
Yeah, we got a little bit of booth design, but like we actually have all of our stuff sort of figured out on that front already, and I don't know. It's many more questions than answers.
Yeah,
right
absolutely.
now.
Well, so. I hope. I mean, I genuinely I'm hoping that this it all goes away, it just evaporates into thin air. Just it needs to go away.
Right.
That would be great, and then we could have our fun shows back again. Where I think the industry's thirsty for a show again, but I don't know how people are going to react. Like you have that side of it too. Like, are people going to go to are you going to stop your work and go to the show that you could get sick at and come back and get family sick again? I don't know.
Right. Well, that's the thing too. And a lot of medical experts are saying that this, will most likely taper off in the summer and then come back again in the fall. Mm-hmm. Now, hopefully, we'll be more prepared as a society to deal with it in the fall. And so it won't be quite as big of a deal, but even then, do you want to go to a conference with 20,000 people? I mean, every time I go to CEDIA, I come back with some sort of a crud.
Right.
Of some sort.
And you're in the same town. It's I don't know if you can see the chat over there, but Bruno has joined us, and he's got a picture of a Corona and what looks to be a picture of
oysters,
Hong Kong in the background across the bay there. And he's got not afraid with a big smiley face on it. So having a Corona in the middle of the Corona pandemic. I don't know.
Well, right,
but we're in the middle of April now. September's a good ways off. And I know it just right now it seems impossible to think about going to a show of 20,000 people and shaking hands for 8 hours a day.
Right.
8 to 10 hours a day. Maybe in September will be a little bit more apt.
Different
to do
story.
Yeah.
Definitely. All right. Well, what do you say we jump into some HomeTech headlines?
Yep, let's do it. Quibi, a short-form video service founded by Hollywood executive Jeffrey Katzenberg and led by CEO Meg Whitman, formerly of HP and I think eBay fame, launched this week with nearly 50 shows for viewers to tune into. The programs are all specifically designed for mobile, with episodes that are less than 10 minutes long. Quibi is starting off with a 90-day free trial, and after that, it'll cost you $4.99 with ads and $7.99 per month without ads.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
I just don't. I don't know.
50 shows for $7.99. Can you want to grab that one? Ugh, that's expensive.
And it's very interesting to me. I mean, I get it. We have short attention spans, but those two worlds don't seem like to fit together to me. Like if I want something short, I'll just go watch something random on YouTube.
Right.
But I guess they're saying like highly produced content that's designed for that short attention span. That's their gamble here.
It is. So I saw Quibi. I've been kind of keeping an eye on it for a while. I saw that they were launching. I mean, they raised $1.7 billion to do this, right?
Wow.
So they're definitely not cutting any corners when it comes to producing. I mean, there are fast cuts in this stuff. It is top-notch production work that's been done. And what's interesting is there's like so when you start it up, it starts up in the iPhone, like the vertical view, not the portrait view, like you would normally watch YouTube or something. Like you turn your phone sideways. When you're playing an episode, you can turn like it's bricked off, like they framed the episode for the viewing in the vertical mode. Is that portrait mode? I guess is what we call it. Portrait mode.
Yeah.
And then when you turn it horizontally, like they show the full 16:9 frame for that. And what's interesting is like the title cards and everything are designed to detect that, which what you have it in as well. So if you're watching a show, I have one here with Christoph Waltz in it. I saw his name pop up at the bottom, and like it's if you turn the phone real quick, you can see that the title will kind of stay in the bottom right hand corner no matter what angle you're at with the phone. I forget what it is.
So they've really optimized it for mobile.
It's highly optimized. Yeah. So that's interesting. I will say, like, it took me 10 minutes to like go through their entire content library, and I'm like, I'm not really interested in anything. But this is all like Punk'd is on here. Daytime. It's all like daytime TV stuff that I really don't have any desire. Like there's a court show, Christie's Court, Dismantled, which is weird. It's like a reality show where they throw food at people and then cook it. I don't really understand that one. Like this is all stuff that I particularly wouldn't watch.
Food challenge.
Yeah.
YouTube.
Yeah. I wouldn't watch any of this. I don't think so. I don't think there's much value for $4.99 or $7.99 to me. But yeah. I don't know. Best of luck to him because it looks interesting.
Yeah, it's a novel approach for sure. Do they have original content or is it all just? I
think it's all original content. Yeah. The only thing on here.
So it's all original.
Yeah. Even the news stuff, like they have an NBC report. It's done. I actually watched this the other day. If you start watching it, it's done from like somebody's house because all the news reporters are in their basements now somehow. But yeah, it's done like in the portrait mode, and then you turn landscape. You can turn landscape and watch it and see what's going on too. So it's all highly produced, original content that you get. So, and it's 10 minutes long. I think I saw that Reno 911 was coming back to this service too. So they're going to have a couple of like a season of
I saw that
10-minute episodes. Funny. So that'd be pretty nice.
All right. Well, we'll keep an eye on it.
Yeah. 90-day free trial. Check it out. If it's for you, it's for you.
Give it a go.
Cancel it.
So, Seth, you know how quickly I move with home technology.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. What's going on?
Like very much a late adopter. I actually timed something right recently, and we finally pulled the trigger and replaced the old Apple TV that was we were using up in our master bedroom with a Roku stick. They had them on sale on Amazon.
Nice.
So I picked one up. And as it turns out, HBO Go and HBO Now, they just announced, will stop working on those older Apple TVs at the end of April. So it says plenty of people are stuck at home without much to do. In other words, it's the perfect time to catch up on TV shows, but HBO might be throwing a wrench into some people's binging plans as the company is pulling its HBO Go and HBO Now apps from second and third gen Apple TV units. Mac Rumors spotted support pages which state that the apps will no longer work as of April 30th. So I dodged a bullet.
I'm trying to. I have one of those. The only reason I still have it is because I have a TV, a little small 19-inch TV, and I like Velcro stuck it or glued it or something. It just hasn't fallen off the back of that TV since I've had it. So it's stuck to the TV, and that's the only reason it's still there. But I was trying to remember. Let's see, the second generation. Started back in September 2010, and the third generation didn't come around until 2012. So you're rocking a pretty old Apple TV there if you're still running a first or second
If it
gen.
ain't broke.
Yeah. It's still not, you can
still works.
Yeah, you can turn it on.
Yeah, it just got really annoying with the interface just feels really dated.
Right. Oh, yeah, that was the old interface with like the expose and the scroll. Yeah,
and you just don't get like voice
apps.
search and things that that we really love on our other ones. So, but we didn't want to spend another $150 for up there because we hardly ever use it. So
Right.
the Roku 4K stick or whatever I think it was like $40 or something.
Yep.
Great deal. So
I still have one of those. I haven't hooked it up. It's like in a box over there, and
yeah, it's nice.
Yeah.
We like it.
I've been meaning to check out what I actually use the professional side, the Bright Sign. It's Roku. It's the same company, but they make this digital media player for digital signage stuff. And I've used that for years. I always liked it, but I've never checked out Roku, and actually physically used it myself. But from what I hear, it's great. So maybe I'll get it out of the box one of these days.
And Bruno in the chat room is telling me that this is not a very green move of me to replace my hardware. And he's right.
The computer that you've had since 2012.
I squeezed as much as I could out of it, Bruno.
I mean, you can't get any more green blood out of that one. So, all right. Well, speaking of going green, Sonos is currently offering a decent $50 off. Wow, 50%. $50 off a number of its speakers, taking them down to some of the lowest prices we've seen since Black Friday. The Sonos Beam, the Sonos One, Sonos One SL are all reduced, and with Sonos offering free shipping as standard, now is definitely a good time to buy if you're in the market for some new sound gear. Sounds like they're trying to move some product. I wonder if sales are slow.
Yeah, I had the same thought. Hard to say. They've got Sonos Beam here, so usually $399, now $349. Sonos One, $199 down to $149, and then the Sonos One SL down to $129 from originally $179. So yeah, I mean, if you're in the market, it's always good. Time your purchase here. Just don't throw away your old one, or else Bruno is going to write a blog post about you.
Well, I mean, unless you have one of the super, super old ones that's going to be like on that separate, I forget what they called it, Sonos One. You have the Sonos One 2 platform and the Sonos One platform.
Yeah.
Unless you have one of those super old ones, I mean, again, it's if it's not broke, you really don't have to do anything with it.
Squeeze it for all it's worth.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Few integrators today are using Amazon Business, which offers special pricing and free shipping just for businesses. But Amazon Business wants to change that. Amazon has identified the custom installation channel along with the home builder channel as two key areas of growth. This is kind of interesting. Currently, Amazon Business, this was launched in 2015. It does offer already various devices for the CI channel. Things like it lists Eero, various thermostats, Ring Video Doorbell, Echo Dots, things of this nature. But according to a spokesman, it says the primary buyers of those devices are distributors in the industry and retailers who take advantage of the special pricing. But apparently integrators can get this special pricing as well. And Amazon is apparently interested in expanding that part of their business.
Yeah, I saw this over at, I think if CE Pro had this article. I've signed up for Amazon Business in the past for my fake integrator business that I have. So I could, get some nice stuff. But like what I found is that like I have Prime and I usually order stuff through that just fine and don't have any issues. And when I use the Amazon business thing, like I got higher prices. I mean, I could physically flip back and forth between the two tabs, and see like, oh, well, this one's more than that one.
Yeah.
And then I had like worse shipping experiences. And the only thing I really got were like some business tools. Like you could get back to like, you could go look up your orders and it had like administrative stuff around that. Like the shipping labels all say your business name on it rather than your personal name. It's like, I don't know. Is it worth it? I'm not sure. Sometimes, if you can get, I guess basically distributor pricing from Amazon for Ring Echo stuff and Eero. It's funny. This article says Eero thermostats. I think they mean Eero.
Yeah, I saw that.
Wi-Fi routers and things. Maybe it's a good idea. I don't know. But I don't know. As a independent distributor, I'd say support the small guy. That would probably help. The money's all going to go to Amazon anyway, but like, might want to support an independent distributor that ships.
That's true. Yeah, no, it's a point worth making. I think that probably the most interesting part of the story to me was towards the back half of the story. They said, "Why is Amazon interested?" And it says, quote, "Amazon doesn't really make any money selling any of these hardware devices anyways, according to the spokesperson. We are interested in the downstream impact of the sales that take place through the custom channel. We know that ultimately those devices sold to integrators are going to be installed in high-value homes, and we see that when a professional sets up a system with Amazon, the usage of those devices is higher than in a do-it-yourself home." So,
interesting.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I did think that was a little bit interesting. I mean, Amazon is so giant that they don't have to make money on everything that they do. Obviously, they can throw some spaghetti at the wall and see what sticks. But yeah, it does appear that they have some interest in a better user experience in these high-value homes for users of their other devices. So they see this as a way to enable that.
Downstream. I wonder what value they get out of something downstream on a product they're not selling much of, that came from a third party, professional integrator / builder in this case. Like, I don't know. Like what I can see the value being like, hey, I had my Eero Wi-Fi system or my Ring video door station installed correctly because it was done by an integrator rather than like me fumbling with the screws and poking big holes in my wall. Like I could see that for some people, but like what? I don't know. I feel like this is not like an altruistic thing. Something's going on here.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
So I don't know. Call me skeptical, but it does seem like an interesting program.
Well, it reminds me, Charlie Kindle. I'm trying to find it right now. He had a blog I saw this was just on March 30th. Charlie Kindle's third law. So, by the way, his first one is every payment system eventually becomes an anti-fraud system. His second law, companies with subscription-based business model eventually behave in ways hostile to the company's customers. I don't know about that one. I have to read more about his take on that. But the third law, Amazon will enter every existing business channel and market. If said business channel or market doesn't already exist, Amazon will try to invent it.
Yeah, he was close to that team, so I can imagine that he kind of knows what he's talking about there.
Yeah, for sure. So interesting. All right. Well, all of the links and topics that we've discussed on our show this week can be found in our show notes at HomeTech.fm/298. While you're there, don't forget to sign up for our weekly newsletter. We'll send you weekly show reminders and other occasional updates about all the great things going on here in the world of home tech. Once again, that's HomeTech.fm/298.
And don't forget, you can join us in the chat room live Wednesday starting sometime between 7:30 p.m. Eastern. For more about that, you can go over to HomeTech.fm/live.
All right, Seth, great pick of the week this week.
Shameless plugging here, but...
Yeah. Beautiful imagery up on the Blackwire Design site, I have to say.
Yeah, so these three pictures are probably the best and most produced images I think that we've ever done for the site. And you can see where we want to put our time and effort into.
Yes, there's a dedication here to the craft.
Yeah, I don't know, Jason. Do you guys do newsletters? I'm sure you do, because
we do.
Yeah, you're a forward-thinking company that likes to interact with your customers through a newsletter, maybe with information in it. Well, we do the same. And sometimes we can't think of what to do. And right now, I don't know, we're kind of like, at Blackwire, we're just like, we don't really want to email anybody, like saying, please buy from us, that kind of thing. So we're just like, what can we do that's fun? And like one week we did a bunch of dog pictures, which is like, we asked everybody for dogs. And I think this was the last week or the week before. And everybody sent us their picture of their dogs. I put them all together and sent that out. And I probably have like 300 dog pictures on my hard drive right now. I was just looking at them the other night. But this week we did this thing called the Quarantini. And if you go to blackwiredesigns.com/Quarantini, you'll find our some free drink picks that we had. And so I have Seth's No, I'm Not Watching Netflix Negroni, which is my Negroni, definitely my favorite drink. Like, so we went with our favorites here.
Good choice.
Cody's Straight to Business Margarita on the Rocks. And
there you go.
It's pretty self-explanatory. Although if you look at this thing, hold on, you got to look at these numbers here, Jason. 4 ounces of Patron, 2 ounces of Control or Grand Marnier or whatever it is. Like this thing is like literally 50% tequila, and it's an 8-ounce tequila by the time you add everything up here. So Cody has some problem.
Well, it's called Straight to Business for a reason.
Straight to Business. Yeah. And then you have Kevin's Lazy, I can't say this, Maraschino Manhattan.
Maraschino.
Yeah. Which these cherries, I know about these cherries. Like, if you are going to drink something that has a cherry, it has to be this particular cherry in it, or just don't bother. So I do know about those, but I haven't had his. But at the bottom of this, there's a form too. Like, we want to know about your favorite cocktail, and you can send that to us, with a picture, optionally. And we're gonna compile all these and try and make them all ourselves to see which ones we like the best. I think.
I love it.
Yeah. But I think
drink a few of these, and Tiger King starts to look pretty normal. That's a note under yours.
Oh yeah. Well, you can see in the background.
I like the note under Cody's. 50% of this drink is tequila. Cody's okay though.
Yeah. We want everybody to know he's fine.
This is good. I like it.
Yeah. We had a lot of fun putting it together this week.
Helping out the community.
Yep. And sharing. We had a lot of fun putting it together this week and sharing it out through our various social channels and newsletter. And we get a lot of good feedback from our dealers who respond to, say, thanks for the lighthearted emails, because we're really enjoying those right now.
All right. Well, great stuff. I will not have much to add to your cocktails, given my wagon status, being on the wagon these days. But, I'm still working on those hop teas.
Those hop teas are good, though. I still have one in the fridge. I need to drink that.
Little plug for hop tea. If you're looking for a delicious alternative, go check them out. All right. If you have any feedback, questions, comments, picks of the week, or ideas for a show topic or guest, give us a shout. Our email address is feedback@HomeTech.fm, or visit HomeTech.fm/feedback and fill out the online form.
And we want to give a big thank you to everyone who supports the show, but especially those who are able to financially support the show through our Patreon page. If you don't know about our Patreon page, head on over to HomeTech.fm/support to learn how you can support HomeTech for as little as $1 a month. This is kind of the second week I'll say this is like, we're not really, if you need to cancel your Patreon pledge, totally understand that. We're definitely not pushing for Patreon stuff right now, but if you can help out that way. Or you can head on over to your podcast app of choice and give us a good rating so other people find the show. That's always helpful. But we definitely want to thank everybody who is still pitching in a couple bucks a month to us. It definitely keeps us on our game and wanting to come in and record every week. But we know that things are kind of tough these days. So if you do lose your Patreon pledge, no worries. You're not going to get kicked out of the hub. We're not running that kind of business here. So feel free to do that, and hopefully we can get you come back when everything picks back up again.
Yeah. Yep. Well said. All right. Well, thanks for tuning in, everybody. We appreciate it. Seth, I hope you stay well and stay safe. I am going to go upstairs, and we've got some brisket for dinner.
Ooh,
so
nice.
Looking forward to that.
We had burgers tonight. Burgers with like a goat cheese.
Ooh, I like your
kind
style.
of topping stuff. Yeah, and some asparagus French fries, which are interesting. So
Well, if you're anything like me, you're eating your way through the quarantine anxiety.
Man, I gotta say, like, I used to eat a lot less when we weren't like all at home trying to cook and figure out good meals every night. Like,
Yep.
Oh man, I have gained so much weight, and I told my wife last night, I'm like, I need to go outside and start running again. Like, this is ridiculous.
It's the COVID-19. That's what they call it.
So we got 19 pounds. Oh, that's great. 19 inches to my waist at this point.
Well, you got to cope somehow. So
yeah, yep.
All right, Seth. Well, have a good weekend. Stay safe, and we'll talk to you next week. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in.
Yep, thanks, everybody. Jason, have a good weekend.
All right, take care.